Welcome, kinky and kink curious folk out there. My name is Sir Ink, and tonight, we have had some issues in the past 24 hours. Let me see if I can get myself up here. We've had some issues the past that we want me. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sir Ink. And last night's live got canceled because I posted a picture, right, the cartoon picture of the woman straddling a man. And it was talking about how if your kisses don't get her wet, nothing else will, right? And for some reason, Facebook didn't like that. It was a cartoon, right? Talking about it was sexually explicit, all that. Even though in the cartoon it was not showing any titties and ass and things of that nature. So it's tight out here, y'all. It's tight. But without further ado, they're not going to hold us back. So I'm just going over some things. So it's funny because I've created a lot of stuff for you guys, conversations, pre-recorded the topics I wanted to talk to you guys about: mental illness, toxic masculinity, all that, right? And I actually scheduled them 2 weeks for next week and the week after that, which I really wanted toxic masculinity to be tonight. However, I messed that all up. But what I did decide on doing tonight in particular is this. I want to just do a little gumbo, right? A gumbo of different topics, some old, some new, and, kind of go over some things like that. So I did write some notes down. Let me go to my notes. All right. So I did get someone ask me about dirty talk, right? So I did a conversation on that, but there was a little bit more conversation that was in the DM about it. So I'm going to say this. Let me turn my comments on. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see if I get the comments on. All right, cool. Good evening. How you doing, Chantel? Good evening. So it's funny because I'm listening to conversation, right? And women want to know, like, and some guys want to know, like, how do I get my significant other or my sex partner to be able to talk dirty? And I've gone over, like, listen to erotic stories, maybe say some stuff like that, think of some stuff of your own. But you know what it is really, y'all? It's really about connection. And it's like, really, to be good at dirty talk, you gotta, like, know your partner. You're not going to really meet somebody and maybe have sex with them the first or second time and they really get you, or know what you need to hear, I've had, and different things motivate different people. Some people will tell you, right? I remember a young lady years and years ago in my 20s, she would, we were just having a physical relationship, but she would want me to tell her, like, I love her. Like, while we were having sex, she's like, I know it's not real, but I just want you to say it just does something for me. And she would get off on that. So, like, a lot of it is connection. And so I can tell you guys, like, listen to erotic stories and don't take stuff off of porn. I think that's just such a cheap shot. But, erotic stories, poems and stuff like that. But in the end, you really need to be connected to your partner. And that's hard for me to tell you how to get connection. Because you really got to get to know somebody. You got to get to know what they like to hear. We all have a level of vanity to us or a level of, stroking our ego. And so you need to know what that is, Like some guys like to be called Poppy, or Hey Daddy, or whatever the case may be. Everybody has their thing. And so I just think you got to get to know your partner more, guys. When it comes to talking dirty, I need to know what it is, because there might be some things that that I got scripted, right, to say, which is like, it's kind of standard foreplay, But as you are having more sex with a person, you should know them more. You should know what to say. Like, you shouldn't be saying ooh daddy, from day one into day 100. Like, that's to switch up a little bit, right? I mean, to me, I get kind of bored with the same thing. And when you know somebody and you know the things that they like to hear, when you're paying attention to who you're with, especially who you're, someone told me before, sharing bodily fluid with, you should want to know what makes them tick. Uh, and I'm seeing on there, you're not from porn. What's up, Shadid? Alicia says, you're not from porn. Not from porn. Not from porn. Please, geez. Individualize it. Yes, Shinta. Individualize it. It is not that hard. But you just got to get to know your partner. Like, and this is where we say people are selfish lovers. And like, these people really do not know that they're selfish. No one's actually, they're not like, guys aren't taking classes or really looking into how to be a better lover in bed, right? I mean, women study all kind of stuff like that. Women want to know how they can be better or how they can make their experience heighter, more heightened and all that. Guys, not so. Most guys, the average guy, probably not so much. They get in robot mode. They're in after a while. They're in robot mode. They're just going through the motions. Wax on, wax off. Like they got the basics, but they haven't added anything on it, and it's only because they're not interested in being good lovers. You know what I'm saying? To want to be a good lover means you have to pay attention to who you're making love to or who you're having sex with. Even if it's a deep emotional relationship or not, if you're having a physical relationship with somebody, I mean, I think you want to maximize it, right? I mean, whether it's a one night stand or somebody that you're married to, I think if you're going to put yourself out there, you should make it fucking count. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But so that's really all I have on Dirty Talk, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I just, I will say this. Guys, we have allowed the porn industry, and I've done a podcast about this, we have allowed the porn industry and a lot of the things that we see online dictate what we like. And that's why so many of us are having the same sexual experiences. And I think this is why people tend to lean into BDSM and kink, because it takes you outside those regular bounds. And these are people who normally in this lifestyle are a little more putting a little bit more thought into their sexuality and their boundaries and wanting to push boundaries. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with somebody that's vanilla, look, good luck. Good luck. I won't get out of the way, but I just did an audio podcast that'll be coming out Sunday, I believe. And it gets into that, a lot of it is language, guys. And guys, we just got to be ready to communicate. And, and women talk about being vulnerable, and guys are like, I got to be vulnerable. No, dude, you just got to be open. Dude, you got to be open to the possibilities. I mean, for real, you just got to be open to yourself and what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And you got to learn how to be a leader in that way. You got to be the one that's open to communication first. If you're open to communication first, it will allow your submissive or your woman to be open as well. And then you can get more accomplished. But if you tight, it makes her tight, and then you really don't get anything accomplished. So if you want to be a good lover, you got to be a really great communicator. If you're not a good communicator, you might not be a good lover. You're probably not a good partner, period. So your sex needs to be one night stands, bar type sex. Hey, look, cheers to you guys. Drink of the night for me is a whiskey sour. Took the fast route with the mix with the sour mix. So Let me keep going. You will run out of gas eventually. Ladies, 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 ladies. You will run out of gas eventually. Now, what do I mean by that? Trying to take these guys and build them up. Trying to take guys that are not dominant men and trying to build them up into being that way. Trying to bring out something in them that is not there. It's different if you have a guy that you're like, he got the qualities, he just doesn't know this method. That's different. Opposed to a guy that's like, oh, he's a guy, he's a man's man, so he can boss up on me. Like, nah. And I hear a lot of you guys, right? Like, I hear a lot of, I can look through the conversation and tell if the woman is in control or if the dude is in control. Now, there's a woman who's saying she's, these are women that's like, they're submissive, but clearly as I listen to them, they're in control, which lets me know that they're not submissive. So what's going on? Is it you're too scared to really submit, which means you have to really give up control, give up a lot of things, and be with that kind of guy that you can trust like that? Or do you just want to be in control? And if you feel like you need to be in control, that's not a problem. But you're not a submissive, you're dominant. And I think that you need to be honest with who you are. If you're a dominant personality and you don't like to submit to someone else, then you need to find people who will submit to you. But some of you ladies, you kind of want this package of a man's man that you can control. That speaks to a whole other thing. But let me be honest with you ladies. That's most women. That's the experience of a lot of men. I can't say all men. That's the experience of a lot of men that are dealing with women who just have some form of control. And a lot of guys, to try to get along, subvert their voice, their power in a relationship. And some of these dudes I really think are submissive. They don't want to admit that. But they are. And the women are dominant. And that's cool. But if you're saying that you're a submissive woman and you want to be submissive, I don't see how you deal with these guys that you're trying to drag along. The mental game ain't there. The sex game may not be there. But it's some shit that you win that's giving you attention. Like, really what you want is attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really just want attention. You really don't want anything that's going to be really touching your soul and really making you, really identify with who you are, like really exploring who you are. You're keeping that person still trapped and locked away. Like, you're scared to let that person out. And you're scared to allow somebody to really open that up because you fear of getting hurt or whatever the case may be. But, relationships is a hurt game. And what happens is, if you just study human beings, people live their lives like this. And then they get older into their 60s and their 70s and then just stop giving a fuck. And that's the most free in life that they are, but they're already at the end of their road. You know what I'm saying? They got more yesterdays than they got tomorrows. So, and they live with regret, and that's painful. Because they're like, damn, I wasted all this time and that shit don't really matter. Like, really what matters is what you're getting out of these interactions. And if you're really not getting fulfillment, like, why do it? Like, I think we have all accepted that we're not going to get what we really need out of relationships. And I think that's some bullshit. Because I think whether you are in a marriage, a hookup, or whatever the case may be, your interests need to be important to you. And they need to be fulfilled. And if someone can't fulfill them, cool. You got what you got, and then you move on. Like, don't hold on to some situation where Your mental is not getting fed, and your physical is not getting fed. Like there just really is, and your spiritual is not getting fed. Like well, you just there doing shit because someone's paying you attention. Someone is saying, "Oh, good morning, beautiful." La la la. All right, but what do you want? Truly submissive women and truly dominant men want interaction, and they want to talk. They want to communicate. You can't avoid spots where y'all might butt heads a little bit or whatever like that, but that's just open communication can smooth all those things over. So part of my thought process and some of the things that I've been seeing is I'm just really disappointed with men, uh, and I'm not so much disappointed with women, but women really have to identify. You guys have to identify with who you are. If you're a control freak, that's fine, right? But you're not going to be able to get with a dude who's a dominant man. Like a dude that likes the ball in his hand. The dude that likes to be the quarterback. The dude that likes to set the direction. Um, I don't know what y'all looking for. I hear it. And I hear a whole lot of dissatisfaction. I've talked about this before. It's like everybody's unhappy, But it seems like people that's doing polyamory and swinging and things like that, they're having a grand old time. I know that might be a little extreme for some people, but I'm just saying people are like not trapped in these mindsets, like and they're living like their sexual lifestyle kind of more freely, and at no point in history, well, maybe before a whole lot of religions come into play, blah blah blah, that sex is just is more open and acceptable right now. Whatever your kink is, and you don't have to tell everybody about it, but damn, you shouldn't be ashamed about exploring it and really embracing it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's legal and no one's going to get hurt. And I think that sometimes I can get it. I get it. Like you can think, damn, I ain't never gonna find a dude that's like this. Or I'm never gonna find a submissive woman for me or someone like. No, you can. You just gotta stay focused on it. But if you're always playing with the vanillas, then you're never really gonna get what you want out of BDSM. And that's what my podcast on Sunday coming out is about. It's about being focused. Focused. Dialing in. It's hard to find people with the whole package, Alicia says. Yes, I understand that nonverbal language. My issue is getting the words out there naturally. Yes. Damon says people are happy being unhappy. Damn, you're right. I think we've accepted that relationships bring unhappiness as Americans. Well, at least let me speak as an American. I think we have accepted that being unhappy and being unfulfilled is part of being in relationships, and I think that's a bad thought process, and I think that's been drilled in us through TV and other things of that nature. I think now is the time that you should claim what you want and it'll come to you. And just like anything, like you want something and you want it the way you want it. But okay, maybe you meet a submissive woman that's really kind of perfect for you, but she lives somewhere far. All right, so I'd rather have what I'm going to have with her than have nothing at all. Right? Distance is just a matter of money and time and what it takes to make those things happen. Will it be a situation where we can actually physically live together at some point? Or is it a situation where we got to enjoy moments? And sometimes the way people are living, if you're a boss, as far as a man, like you don't have a whole lot of time to just be the traditional 9 to 5 dude, come home and be in the house chilling or whatever the case may be. Some dudes, if you on your grind and you hear all this conversation about high value men, or if you're a person that's making $100,000 plus, I'm sure you're working more than 40 hours a week. Some people aren't, but for the most part, people that are making money like that, they're on their grind. Even if they're off their 9 to 5, they probably got some other things going on, Zoom meetings or things of that nature. Still, they're conducting business. So, a work day can be 10 plus hours. And a man that's on his purpose should be grinding for at least 10 hours of the day. At least. You do the 9 to 5, but you got to have some other shit to do. Men got things to do. If you're living your life with a purpose, And so, for everybody, even for you ladies that want to be a submissive or you're a kinkster, like, what is your purpose with it? Where are you trying to go with this? Okay, cool. It doesn't seem like there's nobody around, but how far are you really going out there to find it? And I know we live in a kind of crazy world, but there's munches that you can go to in every part of the country, in every part of the world. If you go on Fat Life, little dark and little sketchy, but the best thing about Fat Life is they have those message boards, and on the message boards, they'll show you where munches are. And munches, for those that don't know, are get-togethers themed around BDSM, but there's no play going on. They're just social events where people meet up and get to, introduce themselves to one another. There's not like, it's not like going to an event or a dungeon where things are going to be happening around you, like actual play is going to be happening, or educational things will be happening. So it's not that. Munches are like going to it might be somewhere like in a Starbucks, somewhere like that. So, you just got to put yourself out there. It'll come. It'll come. Trust me. Trust me. I'm not talking to you guys from a place that I haven't been in. I've tried to do this is what I'm in, and then I'm like, I get caught up looking at the vanilla stuff. Get the plane over here in the vanilla stuff. That thing ends up a mess. Damn. Okay. Try to do the BDSM thing. Oh yeah, that's not good. But okay, But now, boom, I'm back into something vanilla. Then that was a waste of time, and that was a disaster. It was a disaster. It wasn't so horrible, but I just when that was over, I just made a point to myself, like, I will never deal with someone that's not wholly submissive and into the lifestyle. And if they're not into the lifestyle, like, I can introduce them to it if they got the characteristics to be that. But if they don't have the characteristics to be that, I'm not just going to introduce them to it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be selective. But geez, we have to get what we want out of this, y'all. Let me see. When I went to my first month yesterday, it was nice, but a process. Yes. And guys, I'm telling you, I know you might be discouraged. It's hard to tell who's who out here, especially online. But there's ways to verify who people are. And normally, if you're dealing with healthy men, they don't mind sharing with you who they are and what their life is about. If I'm talking to somebody and we're going to meet or whatever like that, I told you guys, I'll send them a picture of my license. Like, let your family members know you're going to be with this guy, blah, blah, blah. Phone number, everything. Like, people that are healthy healthy men like to be held accountable. Let me say that. I can't speak for no one else. Healthy men like to be held accountable. Oh man, so much this week, y'all. So much this week that I saw, and I've been rolling with this stuff. Let me see. We talked about how to get on our page. How to get on my page. How to get on my page. How do you get on your page? I'm not going to get that one away. That's a conversation coming up, guys. The perfect sub. Perfect is the one that kneels and believes in your direction. Yes. Guys. Oh my goodness. Guys. Not every woman is going to think you're worthy of her submission. You may not do it for her. Something about who you are, something about the chemistry between you and her doesn't work. It's not something that makes her feel like she's going to lay it all down on the line. And that's okay. You have to go find someone who believes in you and understands where you're trying to go. That's it. It's really not that tough. But I'm really seeing how hard it is for men to choose the direction and walk in it and own their flaws, own their mistakes. And a lot of times guys are in relationships like they're walking on eggshells, which I absolutely think is ridiculous. So I saw a video where this guy went to Miami with his friends, and he seen a girl on the beach. Now it's a good looking brother, beard, workout dude, guy looks good, right? And he seen a girl. He just runs down on the beach. She's in a little bit in the water, like up to their ankles or whatever. He, says, hey, took a little picture with her. He didn't know her friend was recording the situation. And then, said, hey, gave her a fake name, whatever, and bounced. So this young lady was so enamored with him that she put that out there. She put it out on TikTok or whatever, like, does anybody know who this guy is? If you do, oh my God, I hope he's not married, but I would like to meet him, da da da. Lo and behold, to get back, and he's married with 3 kids. And his wife was upset. She started talking like, oh, I didn't know, it didn't look good. It didn't look good because he's married, but it was like guys down Miami, they turning up, he's having fun, taking pictures. I get it. You don't work out for nothing. I get it. However, in today's times, guys, I keep telling y'all, we got to tighten up. If you're married or you have a woman, you can't do that. You can't run up on somebody and take pictures with random girls. See, back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s, before the internet really kicked off, you could be somewhere, turn up, take pictures, and those pictures would stay within your circle or within the circle of girls or whatever, whoever took them pictures. But now that shit goes viral, right? That innocent moment, let me say this, not innocent, that flirtatious moment turned into a whole issue for him. And then as I'm watching him sit there with his wife talking about it, he's sitting there like a little instead of saying, he could have just owned it. Like, look, I embarrassed you. I embarrassed us. I got to own that. I apologize. I got to make it up to you. But it all came out, overall, it all came out that he didn't give her his real name. He didn't give her a phone number. And the young lady and when his wife reached out to the girl, she said, no, that was it. I met him on the beach. I liked him. I just put it out there. Didn't anybody know him? We never had sex. He didn't give me his real name. He didn't give me his phone number. So I can't say it's much to do about nothing, because as men, that's what we would think. But I get it's embarrassing to your family. And so I just didn't like the way he handled it. I thought he could have handled it more, with owning the mistake. Instead of being like, I told you I didn't cheat. Own the mistake. Yo, I fucked up. I put us in a bad situation. My bad. We didn't have sex. And stand on it. And then when she go talk to her, it's verified. Yeah, there you go. Boom. But I played us. I played me. I played you. It's embarrassing to you. Your friends are calling you, asking you about it, because that's what haters do. You know how haters do. They can't wait to see any flaws in your happiness. They married, 3 kids, successful family. They cool. One bad moment, got everything on the line. She talking about maybe going to get divorced. They got to go to counseling. All off a flirtatious moment. But damn sure, guys wouldn't want to see their woman turned up in Miami. But if he going to Miami, you got to expect that he's going to turn up, right? I just want guys to stand on anything. I think if guys stand on who they are, even when you make mistakes, you just own it. You be decisive. You own it all the way through, and then it doesn't just go away, but it makes it better. Because when you start cowering and shit like that, it look like it's something more to it. Or your mistake is like confronting a dog that you don't know. That motherfucker growling. But if you show him you scared, he get more brave and emboldened. You know what I mean? But if you look him in the eye and get that dog that look, then he it's that energy. If I act up, then this could be a fight. He ain't gonna run. He might, okay, it could be a fight. So, as men, I just think we gotta stand on stuff. And I just think if men are just more firm and stronger in their position, I think a lot of this stuff that I talked about tonight, it wouldn't just, it would get better. You know what I'm saying? Just men just communicating. But guys, like, you gotta pick a direction that you're going in. You gotta own who you are. Like, once you get past 30, as a man, you should know exactly who you are and what you want out of life. The fact that you don't, you can't be a fucking Don. You can't be you gotta be able to master your own life and the direction you wanna go in before you can ask anyone to submit or be anything to you. Girlfriend, wife, anything other than just a sex partner, not really. You don't have it in you. And if you don't really know where you're going and you're not strong in your position, if you can be pushed off your positions as a man, you're not. I just don't see how you can win. And women, you guys end up with these dudes. If you got one of them boys. If you got one of them boys. The difference is, are you happy with that, or are you still looking for some strength out here? Are you still looking for some strength? Something that you know is solid in a man. A man that make decisions. A man that is decisive. A man that's getting up and going and getting it. A man that's not making excuses. Again, if it's a long distance relationship, how we gonna do this? I'm gonna fly to you, you gonna fly to me, I got that, whatever. Guys, as simple as making dinner arrangements. I mean, damn. You can do things by app. It's like it is so easy today. Before, years ago in the 90s, you had to call the restaurant. You got to make reservations ahead of time. It's not like I can just pick up my phone, go on an app, go right to the website, book an appointment. Nah. I mean, it's so easy nowadays. And guys just be like, I don't know, where do you want to go? I mean, fucking choose a spot. Give her 3 options. Give her 2 options. Or just say, what you feeling. Like, you want to feel like some seafood, steak. If you eat steak, you want to go to a steakhouse. Like, I mean, you get a clue and pick a spot. Tell her what time to be ready. Tell her what to fucking wear. Tell her what kind of heels you like to see on her. Tell her what you want her to smell like. And let's go and get it. It's really not that hard. But guys, like, we just not getting man lessons. We really not getting man lessons. We're not getting taught by anyone in our family. We're not getting taught by many people in our family or mentors. And I really think for young men, if you're in your 20s, your 30s, by 35, you should definitely seek a mentor. I mean, you can seek a mentor at any age, but goddamn, if you don't know how to roll in a relationship or with yourself by the time you're 40, like, fucking forget it. But if you're in your 20s, I say seek a mentor. Like, you really need to know how to be a master or mastering your life. Mastering your direction, mastering your emotions, mastering your drive. You really need to learn how to go forward in life like, a focused man. And I think that is very attractive to women. Women are very attracted to men that are focused men. Even the guys that just go to work every day, that to do construction or whatever like that, guys that are focused like, but that's what that man does. Now the guy that's like, well, I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't know what might happen tomorrow. The guy that seemed like some trouble come down the line. He's so stressed out. No, you got to be that lighthouse in the storm. You can't be the storm. You can't be the kite in the wind. You got to be the lighthouse. Let me see what else we got here. I love that. Yes, let's make a decision. Set guidance, get the orders, love it. Man lessons. Yeah, and and here's the thing. I was thinking about this too, guys. Men have to learn how not only to lead, but how to teach. And that's not being talked about enough. Dominant men have to be teachers. So one of the challenges I think men face when it comes to the lifestyle BDSM, kink is one thing. Kink is just a matter of getting good at whatever you're doing, as far as in a session or some play toy or some novelty, paddle, crop, etc. But when it comes to instructing someone else, most people don't have that kind of training. Most people don't have the kind of training that sets a framework for them to be able to teach someone else something that they want them to do. It really makes a man think, what do I want with this submissive? What do I want with this woman? What role does she play in my total picture? And is there a ceiling to that? And you should be able to point out where the ceilings are. I think it's imperative. I think it's very important that we point out where these ceilings are, so that everybody can have a realistic view of what's expected of them. Because the thing is, if you're a dominant man, you should have your life rolling to a point where, like, I want you to be in my life and play this role. But you just can't tell her you're going to play the role of the sub and give her a script, and the script is fucking empty. No, the script the script has to be written out. It has to have some mode of, there has to be some guidelines, some parameters, and some modes of conduct in there, expectations, not only of them but of yourself. What they can expect to get from you, and then you gotta have all that in your mind as a man, right? As a man, you have to look at it like, you can't just look at it like, oh, I'm just looking for love. I'm looking for a girlfriend. Looking for someone to be with forever and ever. That shit works good on TV. But as a man, you better know what you want with this woman in your life. Period. How a woman is an asset and how a woman is not an asset to you. You got to know that. You got to be able to look at a woman, talk to her, understand her, and understand that, what she brings, and show her how she can be valuable to what you're trying to do, and how you can bring value to her life. I think that's fair. I don't think enough people think like that. I think that so many men have also been brainwashed to think that relationships is this kind of, I'm just looking for love, and I love her and I love her. Like, no, I think the reality is men need to tighten up. We need to find some direction, and we need to, be clear about what the direction is. Men, we do not have time to be undecided. Men do not have time to be undecided. Men have to be very decisive in what we want, what we need, and where we're going with our life, and where each person in our lives, what role they play. The role your mother plays in your life, your kids. You better know what role a woman plays in your life and what those expectations are, and be clear with it. Yes. A man that has goals is 100% attractive. Yes. Give orders, love it. Man lessons. Yeah, it's this is it. This is it. And I see it, guys. I mean, trust me, if I haven't been there, I've tried the vanilla route and it just doesn't work for me. But damn, I just love submissive women, and it is a really great thing. We get a lot accomplished. The exchange of the yang yang, the yin yang exchange is beautiful when everybody's on the same fucking page. When we're all here to serve a purpose and to play a role. Not like, well, what script do you have? What role are you reading today? No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're yin, I'm yang. And that's what we're doing. And we're gonna be in our natural state. And we're gonna roll with that. All that other shit you can leave out there, or you can be out there with it. Okay? That's how people need to feel about themselves. You need to get what you want out of all your interactions, whether they're just physical, romantic, marriage, or other. One night stand, whatever. You need to have your needs and your wants filled. You need to be open and honest with that, and let people adjust. And let people make honest choices whether they can fill the bill or they can't. And that's why people love polyamorous relationships, because they don't put the responsibility of, they're so complex that one person can't fulfill them all the way. So they may need someone else, not even for a physical relationship, but for some mental shit, for some spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not always polyamorous relationships that the other person is actual physical relationship. It could be just straight mental. Like, she's here because she keeps order in all this shit. And what she gets back in return is family structure, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying that there's roles to this thing. You have dominatrix that have multiple male subs. No one talks about the male subs. What make them okay with giving up their bank information and all kind of shit. It's real out here, but it's how you want to live it. So this is my conversation for you guys tonight. It's a gumbo. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be coming on at 10 o'clock from now on to help my people on the West Coast. I love you guys, for tuning in with me. With my people on the East Coast, I know you guys like to get in bed around 10, but I'm hoping that you guys stick it out with me. Ride me out for a good half an hour. But again, I have more topics. Toxic masculinity coming next week. After that, I have mental health. I have a few other topics. What were some other topics? Let me see if I can find them real quick. Let me see if I can find. What was some of the other topics that I put up? I have one on chest that I'm gonna bring out. Easy flowing versus strict. I am gonna do one on easy flowing versus strict. Like how you have some dominants that are very strict in what they want from the submissive, and how there's some other dominants that like more of a free-flowing kind of interaction with the submissive. They're not hell-bent on having certain things at a certain time. They're not as rigid. So I'm going to have a podcast come out on that one. I'll do video. It'll be a Wednesday night discussion. Easy flowing versus strict. I want to bring some things to you. And I also have some video. I've been shooting a little bit more video of like some of the protocols that I do, so you guys can see, even the entrance into a session, how I have a submissive like come up the steps and kneel and some stuff like that. So stay tuned. I appreciate you guys for following me again. You guys know where you can reach me, sir. INQ.com, sir. INQ09 at gmail.com. You can find me on, of course, here on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If there's any topics you guys would like for me to go in on, hit me in the DM and let me know. And again, I'm bringing you more podcasts and videos every week. So I'm inspired. I'm ready to rock out. I got a lot to talk about. Until next time, peace.